Check 1, 2. All right. Welcome. If you're in the building, tell me who you are, where you're calling from. Welcome. All right. If you're in the building, give me your name and where you're calling from. So we got a good one tonight. Let me get my glasses. Tell me where you're calling from if you're in the building. Also, all right. I need your name and where you're calling from. Because listen, I got 4 platforms on tonight, so I'm not quite sure where everybody's calling from. Bunny from Virginia. Hey, Bunny. Hey, Shanika. I know where you calling from G Borough, right here in G Borough, where I am located, from Orlando. Hey, listen, y'all. If you would do it, tell me how my audio sounds. Does it sound okay? Because I've had some problems with my audio over the last couple of weeks, and I've changed my mic, changed a lot of different things. So am I clear enough for you to hear me? Let me know. All right, let me know. Bree from the A. Is that Manuela? Okay. It's not as clear. So this is what I'm going to do. And this is, okay. All right, so let's do this then. Hold on. Okay. Check. Can you hear me now? I'm using the computer mic. I am having. I've been working on no audio now. Okay. Okay. Somebody says that's better. All right. That's better. All right. So I'm using the computer mic. I'm gonna get rid of these other damn mics. I don't know what it is. Y'all, I've tried to figure it out, but StreamYard doesn't work well for me. So, but you can hear me now. All right, because I bought a new webcam too. It wasn't static, just a small vibration of the voice, but minor. All right, can you hear me now? Bunny, you can hear me now. All right. Let me know. I can hear you. Okay. Let me know where you're calling in from. All right. Hey, Sharonda, you can hear me loud and clear. Good. All right, let's get busy. Yo, I got a great show for you tonight. But listen, I want anybody that wants to join me on the show. I'm dropping the link. If you want to join me on the show and have a conversation about what we're going to talk about. So tonight we're going to talk about ghosting. Ghosting is like a new thing. But ghosting is when somebody ceases all communication with you. Things are going well, you're talking, you're chatting, you think that things might be going somewhere. All of a sudden, poof, they are in the wind and you don't know why. Well, tonight I'm going to clear it up for you. And it's not just men that ghost, women ghost too. All right, women ghost too. And so if you want to join in the conversation, if you have a question, concern, comment, I'm dropping the link in the comment section. Yes, it's childish, it's horrible, but you know what? A lot of people do it, but I'm going to explain it tonight. All right. So I've got the link. If you want to join me, listen, you're welcome to join me on the show. I put you on stage, behind the stage, and we'll do what we came to do. So yes, I am Coach Ken, aka the Doctor, and tonight the Doctor is going to do what the doctor does. I'm going to give you the prescription. Is it prescription? I don't know what it is. I don't know, but y'all know what I mean. I'm gonna give you your meds tonight, and so Somebody says, I've ghosted for a reason. It's called inconsistency. But you see, tonight, I'm glad you said that. Somebody said, is that Sasha? I think that is. Said, I've ghosted. And what you're going to prescription. Yeah, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. Woo! All right, y'all. So tonight, listen, all I gotta say is if you want to be on the show, the doctor's gonna give you what he's gonna give you, and I'm gonna break down everything. But listen, we got if you want to be on the show, I'm dropping the link in. If you got a comment, concern, I really don't care. On my show, you can say anything, even if you disagree with me. That's fine. Let's have a respectful conversation, respectful debate, and let's talk about it. I got somebody backstage. Looks like Marcia. Let me add Marcia to the stream. Oh, hey there. How
There I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. I've had a ghosting experience just this last month that I want to ask about, but I don't know if you're ready for a question.
No, just Marcia, shoot. Let's go. What
Okay,
happened?
I was in a 6 month relationship with a man,
Okay.
and he had to commute to his work 2 hours one direction and 1 hour this direction to see me, and we were making it work, although there was a lot of time on the road. And he he all of a sudden came to see me on a Monday night, stayed the night, got up and left, and drove 2.5 hours to his work the next day, just like he might have done some other time. And then I never heard from him again after 6 months. This is a lawyer. This is not a man that doesn't know how to talk.
Well, but let me stop you right there. Just because he's a lawyer doesn't mean he knows how to communicate in
Well, I mean, he's got
relationships.
words. He's not. It's not something couldn't sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah, but I'm gonna explain why people ghost. Now, let me ask you a couple of questions though. It was
Okay.
6 months, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so you guys had the same routine pretty much every week.
Well, not always. There were weekends where he would come here and we would go to some kind of event. I have a lot of things that I attend, like I'm the vice president of the NAACP. They have a banquet. He took me to DC to the theater. We did some things, but other times we were just at one of each other's, either my house or his place. But it was principally seeing him about every 7 days for a day and a half or something.
Okay, and this was
I'm a
6 months
priest.
in the running, right?
Yeah, and I'm a priest, and he came to my church. He met my friends, all this stuff,
So let
and
me
then
ask
just
you.
all of
Well,
a
let me ask you a
sudden,
personal question. And you
okay,
know you're on the doctor's show, so he's gonna ask you: did y'all do the nasty?
yeah,
Okay, so when you had you been having sex prior to this last time,
yeah, all along.
all along? Okay, now, all right, when you guys were interacting in the relationship, all right, prior to can
Hmm.
you hear me?
Yeah, I'm having trouble. Say it again.
I said okay. I said in the relationship prior to him ghosting. Okay, you guys hadn't had an argument or anything,
Uh-huh.
had you?
No, the only discussions that we ever had, and they weren't even angry. They were him trying to explain to me that on a weekend he couldn't stay with me all weekend. He had to have one day to clean his house and wash his clothes and that kind of stuff and go shopping because he was commuting 2 hours down and 2 hours back. And that's true. And the other
Okay,
extenuating circumstance was he has severe sleep apnea. So he was often really exhausted. And that was true, despite the fact that he was younger than me. He was 12 years younger than me.
okay, okay. Did he ever complain about anything in the relationship?
No, only that I wanted more time than he could give me. And it wasn't really a complaint. It was trying to explain to me how come he couldn't do that.
So how did you react when you said how did you react when he said he could not give you the time that you desired?
I told him he needed to move me to the top of the priority list
Okay. How often did you discuss that?
twice, maybe.
Okay. Now, did you discuss that recently prior to the ghosting?
Uh, Yes, probably maybe 2 weeks before that. I know the one thing that I haven't told you yet that's probably a huge factor.
Well,
Um,
damn, tell me what's the damn factor? What is it?
I'm sorry.
I mean, you holding back. Talking
I'm
about, I
holding it
got
back
something
because
that
it's
I
such an odd,
know.
to me it's such an odd thing.
Just say the
The
shit.
gentleman was another one of those that have a hard time telling you that he loves you. He'd say I love you too. He'd say I love you more. He'd say I miss you more, all this kind of stuff. But I can only think of 3 times when he just out and out said I love you. And so that night that he was there, I told him I loved him, and he said, "Oh, I love you too, baby." And I said, "All right, look me in my eyes and say that."
Oh shit. Okay.
I looked at him. His eyes flew open, and he said, "I love you." And I held his gaze for about 30 seconds. That's a
It was
long.
uncomfortable, wasn't it? For him. For him.
Uh-huh.
It was uncomfortable
It
for
was a
him.
long time for him, but he held my gaze. He didn't shut his eyes, and I saw down in his soul. And I see brokenness and hurt and various things that I know about from what's happened in his life. So I ripped the mask off. Is what I did. I think that's
Well,
what he couldn't take.
hell, you know the damn answer.
Well,
You
what?
know the answer. Why you
I'm
could?
not sorry. Either you're going to be able to tell me you love me or you don't.
All right. So
I'm
let me
not going to put
explain to
up
you
with
what
that.
happened. Can I
Huh?
explain to you? Can I
Please
explain to you
help me.
what happened?
Yeah.
All right. Number one, more than likely, it sounds like without diagnosing him, he sounds like he has an avoidant personality type. And so, with an avoidant personality type, what happens is they're avoided for whatever reason, even whether they've had trauma in their past, they have abandonment issues, whatever that might be. Now, you said something that makes a lot of sense. You said, I looked into his soul and I know about his brokenness. And what you did
Yeah,
was
I knew about it.
you touched a part of the brokenness. You know how, like, we have a sore, and as long as I hide my sore from you, you can't touch me. But when you forced him to look inside your eyes, when you told him I loved you, you connected with that part of him that reminded him of some pain in his life. You follow me?
Oh, yeah. I know
And
what the pains were.
okay, and you know what they are. And obviously,
Mhm.
you did that for a reason, which I have no problem with that. But what I am saying is this right here, because he wants to avoid that, because he wants to avoid the attachment, he wants to avoid the attachment because the attachment on some level reminds him of the thing that he's running from. Okay? And so,
But what my dog is barking. Let me go in the other room. Well, what I want to say to him is I'm probably the first woman in his life that has ever given him the type of love and attention that he didn't have to earn or and that he didn't have to be afraid of or anything. Not his mother, not his wife that ran around on him, not anybody except me.
okay,
I heard one relationship specialist on the internet say that what men wanted was that very thing. See my brokenness and love me anyway, unconditionally.
true.
And that's what I was prepared to do. So why was that so scary?
Well, let me ask you a question. I want to ask
What?
you a question. You might
Okay.
want to jump out a damn plane, but when you get ready to jump out the plane, that the fear to jump out the plane, even though you have a desire to do that, is still scary. The
Okay.
fear is real to him. Now, I'm not making excuses for what he did or what he said, but what I am saying is you have to take into consideration the trauma that he's experienced. And here's what I do know: if men, just like women, are looking for
Go
love from
ahead.
their father, he's looking for that same love from his mother, but he's afraid that he won't get it, that he'll be abandoned by the love. So instead of doing that, I'd rather just run away from that. Do you follow what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And I think he's been doing it for years, actually.
I'm sure. I'm sure he's been doing it for years. But what I will say to you is this: keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate that. And in the long run, he will too.
Well, let me say one more thing and see what you
Sure.
think about this. I had some things that I had purchased for him to have at my house. And when he ghosted me, I waited for like 3 weeks, no phone call, no text, no nothing. And so I had keys to his apartment, and I had a case of beer, and I had some soap, and I had he was building a new house. I had an antique knocker that I had bought for him for a gift of a lion's head for his house. I took and his slippers. I took all that stuff and I opened the door and put all that stuff so he had to fall over it to get in his house, get in his apartment, and then just laid the key there and locked the door and left. And
Okay. What's your question?
my question is, was that a cruel thing to do or a thing to help him see that I bore him no ill will?
Um,
These were all gifts.
See, the truth of the matter is, it's just a matter of perception. See, you never said, I have these gifts for you. I bought these gifts for you. I'd love for you to have them. What you did was throw the damn gifts in his apartment so he could trip over the damn gifts. So
No,
now
I
what
left
would
a
be the
note on top of.
perception of that?
No, I left a note on top of them,
What did the
and
note
I
say?
closed it by saying, "You owe me a conversation."
Well, how was he supposed to receive that? Like, get the hell
I think
out.
he was.
Here's your
I
stuff.
think
I
he was
got you.
supposed to.
I'm just
Well,
saying that's how
what
he
was I gonna
received
do
it.
with a lion head door knocker?
And here's what I'm gonna say to you. You
Okay.
okay? The reason why he's saying that is because he's running because of the trauma. And so you throw the stuff in his place because and what it happens is you discredit the trauma because you're the one that knows about it. And so now you throw the gifts, you never part with him, you never communicate that I understand why you're running away from it. I understand why you're detaching. I get it. Here are the gifts.
Oh
Take
yeah,
them. I
I did.
bought
I
them for
did. I
you.
didn't tell you what was in the note. The note said, "You and I both know what this is about, and it's not the price of gas." He had sent me a text that said, "I'll call you later." Not, and he didn't say 3 hours later. He might have meant 6 months later. "I'll call you later. I'm going to have to just rethink my travel because the price of gas is so high." Well, that's insulting. Like I'm not worth a tank of gas.
Now,
But
well,
I so I said, "You and I both know that this is not about the price of gas."
well, the truth is the behavior has to fit the narrative, and he's just saying that because he didn't want to deal with the real issue. You know what it is.
I
You
know
know
what
what
it
it
is.
is. Yeah, I know. And so what I will say to you is this: you were kind. You've done what you were supposed to do. I would just say if he does come back, if he ever tries to come back, we're going to talk about what happens when they come back. But I do want you to at least address the real issue. Let's not throw that under the rug. Okay?
Who am I going to address it with?
I said if he ever comes
Oh,
back.
if he ever comes back, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've already found myself somebody else to date. I'm not going to sit around here and get 90 years old waiting for him,
Well, go on
because
date. I think you should date. I'm glad you're out there dating. I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much. Okay.
okay, thank you, bye.
Appreciate it, Marcia. Listen, I love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, if anybody out there want to be on the show, what I'm gonna do is I am going to drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link down here in the boom. I got the link right here. If anybody else wants to be on the show tonight, we're talking about why someone ghosts you. And if you want to be on the show, I just dropped the link in there in the comment section. Listen, I want you to be on, and I'm going to explain to y'all tonight. Now, let's don't get it twisted. Men ghost just as much as women. There was a study they call it the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships. They did it in 2018. They asked people who ghost, men and women. And what they said was, they said 20% of the 25% of the people said that they had been ghosted, and 20% of them said that they had ghosted somebody else, men and women. So this is not a gender thing, but this is a human psychology thing. And so tonight, I'm going to tell you why people ghost, and I'm going to tell you what happens. Because here's what makes ghosting so insidious. What makes it so insidious is that, okay, I'm gonna give you the science behind it, as the doctor already does. I just dropped the link. Did the face somebody Facebook user says, "Where's the link?" All right, hold on. I just dropped the link. Let's see here. Can you see on the comment section the link? Let's see who that is. I just dropped it right there. I don't know if you can see it, but if you can't, hold on a minute. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. All right. So I'm going to put it in. Let's see here. All right. You got, oh, you can see the link. Okay. Let me see who that was because it just pops up like Facebook user. All right. So let's see who that was. All right. I just logged in. Hey, Sharonda. Um, all right. So if you can see it, let's do it. I'm going to drop it into. I'm just drop it into my page. Hold on 1 second, because I want y'all to join this conversation. I'm gonna join this conversation. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm in the other joint. I forgot. Okay. All right. Look. Anyway. All right, y'all. Yeah, you can see it. Okay. Cool. All right, so I can't drop because I'm in another browser trying to get my camera fixed. Sorry, y'all. But if you can't see it here, all I'm gonna say is I can't do it. I can't do it right now. All right, so look, let's get into it. So the first thing is, so let me explain to you why ghosting is so bad. But it's not based on why you think, though. It's based on the way the brain works. Now, watch this. The way our brain works is our brain, the psychology of the human brain, it wants to close what we call, the brain wants to close loops. All right. The brain works in loops. I'm gonna break it down in simple terms. So, have you ever watched the news show and they say, hey, 3 people get shot on Market Street. Stay tuned for 11 at 11, and we're gonna tell you. And then you like, man, you sleepy, but you want to stay up till 11 so you can see who got shot. Now you don't know it, but don't you? I'll break it down even further. Don't you hate it when a person says, I gotta tell you something, I gotta tell you something, but I'll tell you later on tonight. All right. And you say, tell me now, tell me now. So what's happening is the brain senses there is an unclosed loop in your life. That is the reason people say I need closure, because what they're trying to do is close the loop. The reason I have to watch at 11 is because I want to close the loop in my brain. The reason why ghosting is so insidious is because the person doesn't understand why, and their brain is attempting to close the loop. So the brain, they want to know, well, why'd you ghost me? And then the person moves on. They never tell you why they ghosted you. And you're wondering, geez, what happened? What happened? And your brain can't close the loop. So here's what happens when the brain can't close the loop. They call it sensory deprivation. All right. So when the brain can't close the loop, the brain is lacking information, right? Because it doesn't have the proper information to make an assessment about what just happened. So what the brain does is it creates its own knowledge, own information. Have you ever done this? Have you ever done this? And then you say, well, he must have left me because he gay, or he must have left me because, what was it? Maybe I didn't give him enough sex. So your brain is trying to close the loop. It begins coming up with reasons why the person did what they did. Okay. Have you ever asked the question why? Why did that happen? And your brain is like, yeah, like I used to do this. I'm gonna tell you, when I was on the show The Biggest Loser, right? Before I got on the show The Biggest Loser, I used to say, why can't I lose weight? Why can't I was 420 pounds. Why can't I lose weight? Well, my brain heard the question. Now the brain is trying to close the loop for me. It begins saying, why? Because you're busy, because you're too busy. How many of you made that excuse? Or because you travel all the time, or because whatever. And the brain is creating the closing the loop for you. So what happens when ghosting happens is the loop is never closed. So it hurts because, wow, what did I do? What was so wrong? And you can't close the loop, so you don't know what the hell happened. All right. And so I'm going to explain that to you. But I need you to understand that part first. That part. Now, like I said before, women and men both ghost. Now, this is not exclusive to one gender. Everybody out there ghosted, as I said. Now, first of all, what is ghosting? Okay, what is it? Anybody want to join the show? If you want to join the show, click the link that I left down in the comment section. If you want to join the show, please do. I want to talk to somebody, anybody, everybody. But in the meantime, let's talk. First of all, what is ghosting? Ghosting is okay. Now we know what ghosting is from a standpoint of people just cut off contact. All of a sudden, we were good, and then they just poof, cut off contact. That's what ghosting is. Well, let me explain to you what it truly is. Ghosting is a physical response to an emotional problem. You say, Ken, what do you mean? Ghosting is a physical response to an emotional problem. What do I mean? Here's what I mean. So when I wrote this down, okay, I was thinking about it. So think about it. Now, the emotional problem I have are either one, two, or three things. The emotional problem I have is, I'm ghosting you because I have an internal emotional situation going on. It's either one of three things. Number one, I want to avoid confrontation. So I'm thinking something about you. Maybe I'm not into you. Maybe I'm not what you, maybe you're not what I thought it was. Maybe I met someone else. Maybe I don't like, maybe our sex is not good, but I don't want to tell you the real reason that I'm go. So what I do is, because I don't want to be confronted by the emotional problems that go with that, so it's better just to ghost you. So I want to avoid confrontation. The second reason is I want to avoid accountability. I don't want to be accountable to this relationship or you. And so what I do, it is better that I simply say, poof, the magic dragon, I'm out. Women do it too. Women do it just as much as men. And the last thing is not to ghost. Sometimes, like this gentleman right here on Marcia just talked about. The third emotional problem that I have is to remain in the relationship keeps me in an uncomfortable place. See, that man has some trauma in his life. What she did was when she touched the trauma, he said, that took me to a place that is uncomfortable. And I don't want to deal with that. So ghosting happens. Remember what I said. So ghosting is a physical response to an emotional problem. Either one of these three things I just said. Either he or she wants to avoid confrontation. He or she wants to avoid accountability. And he or she wants to get out of that uncomfortable situation. Okay? So why do people ghost? All right. Thank you. I appreciate you, Priya. So why do people ghost? So, okay. Now I'm going to go embrace. Now I'm going to break down. I told you the general reasons why. Now I'm going to break down why people actually ghost. And I wrote this down, y'all. I don't come unprepared. Look, y'all, hold on. That's my notes. Look at that. What is ghosting? You won't ever say I got this from Webster's. Can't spell it in the doctor's head. And my experience. All right. So why do people ghost? I'm gonna give you, let me see how many reasons I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you 5 reasons. I'm gonna give you 5 reasons. Okay. Number 1, these go underneath the 3 that I just gave you. Number 1, your relationship wasn't what the person expected. The results were not congruent with the expectation. So I expected you to be a certain way, but after you and I got into a relationship, I realized that my expectation was not going to be realized. I realized that what I expected, I wasn't going to get. So instead of telling you that the relationship never met my expectations, I simply ghost you. How many of you have done that? Don't raise your hand, just blink. How many of you have the relationship didn't meet your expectation? Maybe he wasn't good enough in bed. Maybe she just didn't give it to you enough. Or maybe she complained too much. Or maybe he was just sorry as hell. He don't like to work. And what you found this out because you had an expectation that did not equal your results. And so what it is you want to avoid the confrontation of telling the guy your ass don't work. You sorrier than I thought. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm out. But instead of saying that, poof, you out and you block the person, right? Because it is easier for you to avoid them rather than face the possible confrontation. And see, y'all, and see, so that's why I say this is not gender exclusive because this shit happens with everybody. So what happens is, so when your expectations don't equal your results, what do you do? How many of you have ghosted somebody when that's happened? You know you have. And so you don't have to tell me, just blink. Hoo-wee. Angela says, yep, I did that. Yeah. And so listen. So when you discovered that the expectation you had would not be on par with the results that you expected, a lot of us ghost. Number two, second reason is people ghost is they realize they're going to have to invest more than they initially wanted to invest. They realize that the person that you're with, that you're going to have to invest more. Like a lot of guys think I'm just going to just come in and do this, slam this, I'm going to smash this, I'm going to do all of that. However, but he realizes that to be with this particular woman, to get what it is I desire, I'm going to have to invest more than I initially thought that I was going to have to invest. And I'm not willing to pay that price. How many of you women, a guy wants to date you, but you realize that what he wants, you're unwilling to invest in the relationship. And so the reason why people ghost is they realize it's going to cost more than they're willing to pay. It's going to cost more. You're going to have to invest more, either money, time, resources, or your talents. You're going to have to invest more than you initially thought that you're going to have to invest. Okay. And so and I've seen this happen before when the women that I coach, when I tell them, I'm going to show you I have a surefire way of making the man reveal himself. But it's not by what you say, it's what you do. Because if you do this, it's going to require him to invest something. And if he's unwilling to invest, he will do it quickly. He will move on quickly. Bonnie says ghosting is immature and weak. Yes, Bonnie, okay, I agree. But a lot of people do it. A lot of people who are not young, a lot of people who are not teenagers. These are people who are of age. Okay. So the second reason is because the person realizes they're going to have to invest more than they were willing to invest. In other words, it's going to cost more than you were willing to pay. Hey, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. And StreamYard got this crazy thing that if you touch the mouse a certain way, it'll take you out of the studio. So I'm like, oops, sorry. All right. If you want to get on the show, if you want to get on, let me give you, I'm going to drop the link one more time. If you want to talk about it, if you got any questions, concerns, comments, and just look inside the comment section. Join the show. I want you to come backstage, have a conversation with the doctor, y'all. I'm here. Even if we disagree, we're gonna have a respectful conversation. Number three, why people ghost is he or she is interested in someone else. Now, they don't want to come to you and tell you, hey, I met Johnny, or I met Sally, or I met whoever, and then I'm not really interested in you. I think this person is more of a fit for me, or they're more in alignment with what I want in a relationship. Instead of saying that, what do people do? People just ghost your ass. They're interested in someone else. So, because they're interested in someone else, what do? They just say, you know what? I'm out. I'm out. All right. How many of you now, all of you will say ghosting, immature, weak, everything. And I'm cool with that. My question is this: if you were interested in someone else and you were dating someone else, you weren't in a committed relationship, but you guys were dating to see, you've been in it 3 months. How willing or ready are you to tell them, look, I met somebody else, I'm out? How willing are you to say that? But how many of you are willing to say, yeah, I would say that, coach. Yeah, right. I think you should. I think it's the right way to do about it. But many people who say this, they don't want to do this. Just keeping it 100. Just keeping it 100 for y'all. Listen. All right. Number four. Number four, the fourth reason is he or she wants to avoid getting emotionally attached. Just like Marcia's friend. He wanted to avoid getting emotionally attached. Okay. He wants to avoid getting emotionally attached. So what does he do? Instead of, he comes up with any other excuse, gas is high. Now this dude is an attorney, right? But the truth is it's easier for him to come up with an excuse than to say, I don't want to get emotionally attached because I have trauma in my past. There are things about me that haven't been healed in me, and you touch that part of me, and I don't want to be around you because that reminds me of something that I wanted to forget. They're not going to say that. They're going to say the gas is high. They gonna say it again, and so it's hard to say it up front, Bonnie, because it's hard to say it up front because if you meet somebody and your expectations don't meet your results, you won't know that until you get into the relationship or you get into the dating process. Now, I do believe that you should say, "This ain't working out for me." All right, now, but it's easier, y'all. I'm just telling you, it's easier. Liars. In your liars in your Medea voice. All right, I got you, Shanika. All right, last but not least, last but definitely not least. Number five, he got what he came for. He ghosted you, or she got what she came for. Whether it's money, I wanted to smash. I wanted to have good sex with you. Whether it's needed a place to stay, whatever it is, he got what he came for, and so now, poof, or she. Remember what I said, that this is not gender specific. It is not gender specific. Now, coach, everybody get triggered about ghosting. Coach. Now, if anybody want, and I was going to tell you what you should do when a person comes back. Say a person ghosted you, he comes back, or she comes back. Could be anybody. Does anybody want to chime in on how you would handle that? Everybody say, well, just cut them off. Cut them off. I mean, just don't take their calls or any of that. But you know why that's easier said than done? Is because of your brain. See, your brain wants to close the loop. Your brain wants to find out why they did it. So your brain, this loop has been open. Now the truth is, you have sometimes you don't have to close it, but your brain wants to find out. So what do you do? Anybody want to join me? Anybody want to join me on the show? Let's talk. I got the doctor. I put the link to come backstage. I put the link to come backstage in the comment section. And if you want to join me backstage, let's do it. Let's do it. Because I love to hear what you have to say. So, because some of you are about to get triggered by what I'm about to say. You're going to get triggered, some of you. And so that's fine with me. I don't really care. But I'm going to say it anyway. So the question is, how do you handle a ghoster? And see, when you understand my rationale and my logic, you might not say it's so crazy after all. So the way that I'm going to tell you, the way I'm going to tell you to handle this is has nothing to do with the ghoster. It's all about you. It's all about you. The reason what the way I'm going to tell you to handle this is because I want you to grow from it. All right. Now, if the ghoster leaves you, if the ghoster leaves you, now you got a couple of things. There are three things you want to do. Number one, you got to determine if the ghoster, there are three types of ghosters. The short-term ghoster, all right. Yeah. Bert, what the heck just happened? Okay, my computer. All right. So let me tell you what to do. All right. Number one, the first thing you want to do is this. First, you got three types of ghosters. I was going to say that. You got the short term, the mid range, and the long term ghoster. Well, to me, it really doesn't matter. They're slightly different for each one, but I'm going to give you the ways to handle them. The first thing, and I know y'all ghosting hurts because you want to close the loop and you don't know why. All right? You don't know why. So the first thing though is you mirror the behavior. Yes, Miss Briscoe. Thank you. That's right. She says mirror the behavior. That's what the doctor said in one of his videos. So what happens is this is you cannot, because once you realize that we're in a ghosting situation, is the person has come out of their normal routine. How do you know it's a ghosting situation? Because they've come out of their normal routine. So I always tell people, whatever you run after, don't run after and say, hey, why'd you do this? Why'd you go? Don't run after them. You have to mirror the behavior. If they fall back, if they retreat, you begin to retreat. If they call less, you call less. What you're going to do is you're going to invest in the relationship what the other person is willing to invest. You mirror the behavior. All right. So why do you do that? Well, you do that for a number of reasons. Because you have the ghoster or the other person has to see their life without you. Just like you see, whenever you're dating someone, you have to show them this is you. I have a full life without you in it. Now, I might want you in my life, but I don't need you. I'm not needy. I'm not desperate for you to be in it. Okay? Because whatever you chase runs from you. All right? That's the first thing you do. The second thing you must do, you must not internalize what he or she did. Now, I know it might seem like, well, you say, Coach, how can I not internalize it? We're going good one day, just like Marcia. The night before, you know what? We just smashed. I mean, we doing the nasty. I'm jumping up and down on that thing, and you smacking it, and then all of a sudden, poof, what? Well, what did I tell you? What did I tell you, y'all? Ghosting is a physical response to an emotional problem. That means that listen, you got to say whatever this is that person, whatever they did it, and I know it's hard, but they did it. It's their truth. All right, I did, and what a lot of people do though, they internalize it like it's their problem, something that I did, something that I, and then they start carrying that with them, and now they get into another relationship. And so when they begin to carry that weight with them, now it becomes a point of trauma because now they have asked listen, listen, be clear about this. What happens is they begin telling themselves a story. So remember what I said, when the brain doesn't get information, it creates its own information. All right, I'm gonna prove it to you. So let's say hypothetically you go to the doctor on Monday. And then the doctor says, we got to run some serious tests on you. Okay. And the doctor says, I'm going to call you back by Friday at 5 o'clock and we will give you the results of your test. Okay. And so you go take the test. Now you're wondering about the test. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's wrong with you. You just don't know. And so Friday comes. You're waiting for the test. 12 o'clock. No call. 1 o'clock, no call. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, no call. 5 o'clock, no call. Now, your brain does not know what the outcome is. But what is your brain doing right now? It is creating oh my gosh, I got cancer. Oh my gosh, this is wrong and that is wrong. So your brain is creating, it's called sensory deprivation. And so what your brain is getting, your brain is creating the information. How many times has that ever happened to you? When the brain is deprived of the information that you need to close the loop, the brain doesn't have it. And but the brain creates it. Iris says, I'm in the medical field, no news is good news. Okay, cool. To you. But what happens is to the person who's never received the news at all, they're creating it. All right. And so that's why, y'all, they have a thing called a hyperbaric chamber. And they put people in these hyperbaric chambers. And y'all, the truth of the matter is when you go into the hyperbaric chamber, you are left with one thing, your own brain. You can't hear a thing in it. You can't feel a thing in it. And all you can do is hear yourself breathe. And you hear, do you know what nothingness sounds like? The brain, not what nothing sounds like. In hyperbaric chamber, there is no sound, nothing. And so your brain creates the information. And that's what's happening. So that's why I say you can't internalize it. And so the way you not internalize it is you change the story. So the way, and as I've told people in the past, I'm going to tell you, whenever you ask your brain a question, it always answers it. Like it always answers it. Whenever you ask yourself, always, you ever ask yourself a question? Like for instance, you've been around somebody and you see somebody, you know their name, and you're like, what's this person's name? But you're like, hey, how are you? And you don't remember their name. You don't remember their name. But you ask your brain, what is their name? What is their name? And then all of a sudden, hey, what's up, Doc? I done it before. What's up, Doc, my man? I forgot this dude's name. And my brain, whenever I ask the question, have you gotten back to your car? And all of a sudden you remember, oh, that's Johnny. Has that ever happened to you? Yes, it has. Because your brain, whenever you ask it, it always looks for the answer. So what the brain does is this. It goes into your subconscious programming. Think about your subconscious mind like a library of all your life. It is like file cabinets. So when you ask a question, it goes to look for the file cabinet. It goes to look in the file cabinet. And so what I'm saying is those are the things that it's doing. So the way you do it, you change the question if you want to change the answer. You say to yourself, am I not valuable? Why am I so valuable? Why would I make somebody a good? Because you're right. Because you know what? Because I'm kind. Because I can cook. And now when you begin asking yourself a different question, your brain goes to find that answer. So that's why that is why it's important. The quality of your life will depend on the quality of questions you ask yourself, not what other folks say. Not what they say, y'all. And so when the ghoster comes back, that's why you do number three. You speak your truth. Don't see people say, I'm gonna block him. Now, first of all, I understand if there was trauma involved, if there was abuse involved, block him. But if it wasn't, don't block him. Let me tell you why. Because your brain also has to see you stand up for yourself. Your brain has to see you speak your truth. Your brain has to say what you did. I noticed that you pulled away from me. I noticed that you ghosted me, but the truth is I'm much more valuable than that. I didn't like that, nor would I tolerate it, nor will I tolerate it. The truth of the matter is I am more valuable. I'm more worthy than that. And I will not tolerate that. The reason why that part is important, see, a lot of y'all say, no, I was just ghosting. Stop this shit. Because the truth is, it ain't about the ghoster. It's about you. Your subconscious programming needs to see you stand up for yourself. When you ghost, when you block them, when you block them and run, your brain only sees you ran from it. And now, whenever something happens again in a relationship that doesn't look right, what are you going to do? You're going to run from it. And when you run from it, you never grow from it. And so what I'm saying is stand up, speak your truth. I ain't got to never be with you, but I'm more valuable than that. And see, most of us just want to run from it, but that doesn't help you grow. I'm talking about you growing. Remember I said what I'm going to tell you to do has nothing to do with the ghoster. It has everything to do with you. And the last thing is this. Thank you, Iris. I appreciate you. The last thing is this, is you got to cut off the oxygen. If you decided, well, there are two things. There are two last things. And let me tell you what they are. The first thing is if you decided, I'm not taking you back. But you might hear that, you know what, his father was sick. He didn't know how to handle it. And you might, because I tell people to listen to the reasoning. If he came back, some of the reasons he came back were trying to act like nothing happened. You better cut that fool off because he'll do it again. So if you decide that you're gonna cut it off, that the reason he gave was not sufficient, you cut off all the oxygen. And what do I mean by cut off all the oxygen? Don't follow on social media. Get rid of his number. All of it. Cut off all of the oxygen because nothing can live unless it has oxygen. Okay. When you follow him on social media, when you tracking him, when you're doing all this, when you still got the number, when you still texting, all of that, what happened? You're not cutting off the oxygen. And so now that little bit of oxygen is just like this. They're still living. It's still living. It's still living and still living. So, and then he got access to you. He got control of you, or she. It's she too, because women goes just as much as men. All right, but you got to cut off now. But if you decide, I'm gonna give him another chance based on the reason. You still go through the process, speak your truth, all that stuff. But then this is what you do. This is what you do. All right. If you decide you're gonna give him another chance, you make him climb the mountain. Listen to what I said. You make him climb the mountain. The doctor in the building. Whoa! What do I mean by that? You see, you got to make him earn it. Every man or woman knows that to have something valuable, they have to invest in it, right? They have to invest something to get it. Their time, energy, money, or resources. They have to invest. Make him invest and climb the mountain. If he says that he wants to be with you, then you know what he has to do? He got to climb the damn mountain. I require this. My boundary is this. My standard is this. And if they are not willing to do it, let him walk. But make him climb the mountain. Or her, if she come back and she goes to your ass, goes to the dude, she got to climb the mountain. Because if they're not true about it, they ain't gonna climb the mountain. They're not gonna pay. The price will be too steep. And that's how you deal with a ghoster. Whoa! Whoa! Doctor, I'm in the building tonight. Listen, anybody got any comments, questions, concerns? I dropped the link in here. If you want to come on the show, you got a question, comments, concern. All right, I just dropped the link again. There it is. All right, let me drop it again. I just dropped the link again. If y'all want to come on, you want to come backstage and you want to talk about it, you got a question, concern, comment, you ghosted somebody, or somebody ghosted you and you don't know what to do. So just let me know. Let me know. All right, I have a request. Climb the mountain. Make him climb the mountain. Michelle, make him climb the mountain. Listen, y'all, I have a request. And here's my request. My YouTube, I want everybody on this call, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, it's growing, y'all. My other platforms, like I got 200,000, 215,000 on TikTok. I got 100 and some thousand on Facebook. My YouTube, I only have like, it's growing, like right at 6,000. All right, YouTube is a little bit harder. So if y'all would go to my YouTube, Coach Ken Canion, subscribe to my channel. Look at some of the stuff there. I'm going to be putting up long form content over there that you will not see on TikTok. You will not see on Facebook. I'm going to see that. So you don't see the look, hold on. So Rhonda. Okay, Rhonda. I put that comment up there. Now I don't even know how to let me hide it now. Oh, I did that. Michelle. Oh, snap. Hold on. Let me show y'all this. I already say the doctor in the building. Ooh, I learned something. Y'all listen. Hold on. I'm gonna put the link out there. I'm gonna find another way to put the link out there. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Hold on. Let me get rid of this. All right, let me get rid of this. All right. All right. All right. Look. Oh, snap. Where am I from? I'm in Greensboro, North Carolina. I just did that. Someone. Okay. Sunshine Tweet says, I did that to someone that I was really into when I found myself being available all the time. I told him how I felt, and I never looked back. I felt dead weight dropped off me. I'm happy now. See, what she just said was she did what I told her, y'all. She spoke her truth. And she said the dead weight fell off of her because once you speak your truth, your subconscious says it's okay to release it. It is okay to release it. And that is the reason why. Hey, that is the reason why. Hey, Sharonda, I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna get you the link. I don't know why you can't see the link, but I'm gonna drop it in the group. I think I'm gonna drop it in the group. Let me do this. Y'all hang on. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. All right. So let's see here. Let me see if I can get in. And because I'm on a new browser now. All right. I hope y'all getting something out of this. But at the end of the day, my job is to make sure. Okay, it's saying my password. Let me see if this password. All right. Let's see if this password works. I don't know if that one gonna work either. I got to get the two-thing authentication. Hold on. All right, John. Let me see what this is. All right. Here it is. The two-thing. Yes, that was me who just logged in. Let me in. Hey, all right. Let me in. So can you let me in? I said, yeah, that was me. All right, let me in. Okay. All right. So Sharonda, I'm gonna put the link in our group. I'm gonna put the link in the group right now. I'm gonna put if you want to join me. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna put the link in the group. Hold on. Now you know what's funny? It's okay. Here it is. All right, here's our group. All right, I'm putting the link in our group now. I think you can see. Well, why is this doing this to me? Okay. All right. Here we go. So I'm putting it in the link. All right, Sharon, I just put it in there. I just put the link in there. Okay, let's see. We got somebody backstage. All right. Hey. How are you? Is it Keela?
Keela, yes. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I
Thank you for joining
apologize.
the doctor tonight. You got a question, comment, or concern?
Yes, I have ghosted people in the past. And I see
Okay.
that's what your discussion was. Um, I and like well, I kind of like what you said about it being a. Would you say it's an emotional?
I said what it is ghosting is a physical solution to an emotional problem,
Yes, not
right?
wanting to. Yeah, not want really, really. When I ghost somebody, is because I don't want to give them any more time. I'm done with the situation.
So your connection kind of went out. What'd you say?
I said really, and then kind of. Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay, like when I ghost people, it's because I just don't want to deal with them anymore. That's the same thing, right?
Hell yeah, it's the same thing. But I just explained to you why you don't need to do it. Because listen, the
Hmm.
same thing, you need to speak your truth too. Because why do
Yeah.
people go? Because your expectation didn't equal your results, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So your ass you need to tell them what you're thinking instead of just running and hide. Hey y'all, I told y'all it's not just men. Then I tell y'all, she was like, I ghosted them too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. And it is a running high. But what about when they come find you?
Yeah, they found your ass like, why you do that? What you doing? They got her. They got her. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I appreciate you being honest. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show. All right, y'all. Anybody else? Anybody else? That's funny. Ah, that's hilarious. Anybody else? I put the link. I put the link in the back. If you want to join me before I get up out of here, y'all, I hope that I have helped somebody tonight. I hope that I've helped somebody tonight. Listen, y'all, ghosting is not cool. It is not. But I explained to you why people do it, y'all. A lot of times we take the easy road home. We don't take the long road home. We don't take the shortcuts. And it's easier sometimes just to do that. And y'all listen, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. If you would, listen, go to my YouTube channel. I'm growing super fast. And look up Coach Ken Canion. It's going to be exclusive content just on YouTube. I did a ghosting series over there. A ghosting series. All right, a ghosting series. It's three videos. Why somebody ghosts, why somebody ghosts and come back, and then what to do if they come back. I got Storm in the back. Hold on, hold on. Now, what's
Hey,
up, Storm?
how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
What's good? What's going on?
Nothing, I'm just speaking a little ghosting, comment, whatever. So, anyways, I was gonna say, remember when I told you I blocked such and such,
Yes, I
Oh,
do.
yeah, well, I unblocked them. So, and I was reaching out, whatever, and then we were texting for a little while, but then like now he's kind of going back on that blocking phase. I mean, excuse me, the ghosting phase.
I
So
told your ass what to do, but then you won't do it. Then when you do the shit other than what I tell you to do, then see what happened. See what happened.
yeah, I was looking. I think I was making myself look a little bit because I was reaching too much. If that makes sense.
And that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But whenever I tell you to do something, do the shit. I mean, because you know, when I tell you to do something, it works.
Right.
Now people have to be willing to work with it, but it works.
Right. I think I was in an emotional state. But
No, I
I'm
believe
coming.
it. And so I'm
I'm coming
okay.
out of it. I'm coming
I,
out of it.
I know you, and you are too, and you are too. So I appreciate you. Where you at now? What part of the world?
No, right. I'm in North Carolina, but I'm gonna be heading to Arizona August 8th.
All right, I'm proud of you. I'm proud
Thank
of
you.
you. What you
Thank you.
got going on? Okay. Good to
Okay.
see you again.
All
All
right.
right, y'all. All right. All right, y'all. That is my time. If anybody else wants to grab the link, anybody else wants to get on, check my question, Myra 6. So Ken, can I consider this as ghosting? He doesn't talk for a few days or possibly weeks. And when you ask what's the problem, he says it's his workload. Well, now when he says it's his workload, did you call him? Did you reach out to him? And is this a pattern? Is it a pattern, Myra? Why don't you just come on, Myra, so we can talk, so we ain't got to hide behind this shit. Get on the show, y'all. Let's get on the show. I know. Hey, look, y'all know y'all gonna have fun with me. Hey, listen, I'm gonna talk junk to you, but you're gonna have fun. So look, get on the show. Okay, Myra says yes. That's his pattern. Well, that's his pattern. He's showing you what he is, Myra. He's showing you what he's gonna do. And if you, all right, Myra, here's the link right here. You want to know what the link is? Bam. Bam. I just put it in there. Can you see the link? Can you see the link? Myra, there go the link. Grab the link and come on backstage with the doctor and let's talk about it. Caught you live. That's what I'm talking about. Z Nelson, you got me live. The doctor's in the building. Yo, tonight we've been talking about ghosting, what to do. I hope you, not yet. I just put the link up there. And it's right above your head. Maybe you can't see it. Where are you in my group? Look in the group. Look. Are you in my group? If you look at my group, I just posted it. Hold on, let me make sure. Are you in the group? Hold on. Here it is. I think if you're in my group, I just posted it in my group. All right. All right. I don't know because it's got a YouTube stream. Somebody on YouTube, if somebody on StreamYard, Facebook, either way, you can come backstage and you can join the doctor, y'all. Before I get up out of here, I'm gonna get up out of here in like 2 minutes. But if anybody else wanted to join it, I hope that I have helped you tonight to understand that the way you deal with ghosting is not about them. It is about you. Okay? Listen, y'all, go to my YouTube channel, go to my Coach Ken Canion, subscribe. I'm going to have exclusive content over there that I won't have on TikTok or Facebook Reels. Y'all, thank you so much because you could be anywhere anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I want you to remember, every journey starts with one step. Take yours today.